Once upon a time, in a small village nestled deep in the heart of a dense forest, there lived a man named Ichabod Crane. Ichabod was the local schoolteacher, and he had a peculiar fondness for ghost stories and legends. One autumn evening, Ichabod was invited to a harvest party at the home of a wealthy farmer named Baltus Van Tassel. The party was a lavish affair, with an abundance of food, drink, and entertainment. Ichabod was smitten with Katrina Van Tassel, the beautiful daughter of Baltus. Katrina was the belle of the ball, and her beauty and charm had captured the heart of many a young man in the village. Ichabod was determined to win her heart, and he spent the entire evening flirting and dancing with her. As the party drew to a close, Ichabod realized that he had overstayed his welcome and that it was time to leave. Katrina, who had taken a liking to Ichabod, offered to escort him home. Ichabod was thrilled at the prospect of spending more time with Katrina and eagerly accepted her offer. As they rode through the dark forest, Ichabod began to regale Katrina with tales of ghosts and goblins. Katrina, who was not easily frightened, laughed off Ichabod's stories and teased him about his overactive imagination. Suddenly, in the distance, they saw a figure on horseback. The figure was riding a large black stallion and appeared to be wearing a long black cloak. As they drew closer, Ichabod realized with a start that the rider had no head. Ichabod was petrified with fear, but Katrina reassured him that it was just a trick of the light. However, as they passed the rider, they heard the sound of hoofs pounding the ground behind them. Ichabod looked back and saw the headless rider galloping towards them at breakneck speed. Ichabod urged his horse to go faster, but the headless rider was gaining on them. Ichabod could feel the hot breath of the horse on his neck, and he knew that he was in grave danger. Suddenly, with a loud whoosh, the headless rider swung his sword at Ichabod, narrowly missing his head. Ichabod's horse, terrified by the sight of the headless rider, bolted and ran off into the forest. Ichabod, clinging desperately to the horse's mane, was flung off and landed in a heap on the ground. The headless rider rode off into the night, leaving Ichabod lying there, dazed and disoriented. The next day, the villagers searched the forest for Ichabod, but he was nowhere to be found. Some said that he had been carried off by the headless rider, while others believed that he had fled the village in fear. Whatever the truth, Ichabod Crane was never seen in the village again. Years went by, and the legend of the Headless Horseman grew. Some said that he was a soldier who had been beheaded during the Revolutionary War and was now doomed to ride through the forest forever. Others believed that he was the ghost of a Hessian mercenary who had been killed in battle. To this day, visitors to the village can hear the sound of hooves pounding the ground and catch a glimpse of a shadowy figure on horseback. Some say that it is the Headless Horseman, still searching for his next victim. Others say that it is just a figment of the imagination, a legend that has taken on a life of its own. But for those who believe in the legend, the Headless Horseman is a warning that there are some things in this world that are best left unknown.